I am doing a live stream video for you because I want to talk to the women who need dating tips for dating over 50 and 60. And so this is my first time doing a live YouTube video, but I love making videos and I thought, what better way to connect in real time? So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Jaki Sabourin. I'm an executive love coach and CEO of a company called Engaged at Any Age. And I teach women how to deliberately date and consciously create the man of their dreams. I met and married my old soulmate match husband, Michael, after being single for 8 years, and I'm still on the honeymoon and excited about helping you get engaged at any age. And I truly, truly am passionate about helping women to feel empowered, and especially in their 50s and their 60s. I'm 54, and so I know what it was like dating, getting back out there after a divorce and being married for a long time in my first marriage. And there's certain challenges that come with dating as we get older. However, I'm here to give you some great tips so that you can feel more confident and get out there and create the life that you were meant to live. So let's talk about some dating tips for dating over 50 and 60. And so, ladies, I want you to know that there are so many amazing men that are over 50 and 60 out there looking for you, wanting to connect with you. And it's just going to take you learning a few things and getting your confidence level up so that you can put yourself out there and find love at any age. I really do believe and know that's possible. And here's why I know that's possible, because my grandmother lived to be almost 100 years old. She died right before her 100th birthday, like 2 weeks before. And I asked her, I said, Grandma, what's your secret? Because she had a line of men out the door until the day that she left the planet. She had the secret. And I said, I want to know what your secret is. And she said, here's a first tip for you ladies. She said, I never talk about the past. I never think about the past. I just stay in the moment. She said, because when I do that, it makes me feel sad because all of her family had already been gone. And so she said, I just think about the moment and I stay in the moment, and that makes me happy. And that really impacted the men that she had relationships with because she was so positive. So one thing that does damper our spirits and our moods when we're dating is bringing up the past. When we bring the past into the present, we create a little toxicity because the past is over. It doesn't exist, and it confuses the man that we're with. They're wondering, are we over our ex-husband? Are we over if we're a widow? Are we still mourning that loss? Are we still attached? Do we have some kind of attachment? And so when you're talking about the past on dates, you want to just do it in little sound bites. Because when you start talking about that, a man's really judging whether or not you are really emotionally available to be with him. And so keep an eye on how much you share when you're dating about your past. Just little bits. They're not really looking for your whole life story. They just want to see how far you are in being really available to them. Okay? And so that's a really important factor. So you share a little bit, see how it's received, and then you share a little bit more. And so that is your first tip, is just stay away from topics about the past. I know it's very easy and tempting to get into starting to talk about your experiences with your ex-husbands or what you've been through in your life. But really, when we're in middle age right now, 50s and 60s and beyond, it's all about making the most out of every moment. And it's about seizing the moment and living our best life, right? And so what that looks like is being fun. Men in their 50s and 60s are looking for women who are embodying and living in their feminine energy. So let's talk about that. So I want you to bring more of your feminine essence to your dates when you're 50s and 60s, actually in all ages, but this is what men are really looking for as they're aging. So a feminine woman who has that feminine energy is a woman who is really going with the flow, is very relaxed in who she is in a woman, like how I'm being right now. I'm very relaxed. I'm going with the flow. I'm leaning back. I'm not trying to lead everything. In fact, I'm enjoying seeing what shows up. I've learned the value in relinquishing my control or my perceived control of situations. Because face it, we're not in control. We're barely in control of ourselves. So when you release your attachment to needing to know how things are going to be, when they're going to happen, when you release your attachment to needing to know all of those details that are really not important, because in the moment you can make decisions, you show up much more relaxed, much more at ease. For example, I'll give you an example. If you go to a restaurant and say it's very busy and there's no tables, and he says, "Hey, I saw a place next door. Let's go over there." And maybe the place next door isn't as nice as a place that you walk into that's really busy. But what you want to do is to stay in your feminine energy and say, "That'd be great. That'd be lovely. Thank you for thinking of me," because it's too loud in there anyways. You're not going to be able to talk. You have to wait for your table. So you go with the flow. Let him lead that. Besides, here's the value in doing that. He is showing you who he is. So if you stay in your feminine energy in a receiving mode where you're receiving whatever it is he's offering, it allows you to see what he is offering. What is he offering? And what is his temperament? And what decisions will he make? And how will he lead this? And so by you leaning back and going with the flow, it serves two purposes. One, it helps him to feel really comfortable with you because you're not trying to lead it. You're not you're not being the director of it. And second, it shows you what he's willing to do for you and how he's looking out for you. So a man that notices that is too busy and he wants to take you to another restaurant, he's actually looking out for you. But some women might interpret that as being disappointed that they're not going to get that nice restaurant, or maybe they think that he's trying to be a cheapskate when he's really just thinking of you and wanting to look out for you. So going with the flow and seeing how he handles things and staying in your feminine energy. And the feminine quality is like water. So water grows with the flow, right? Think of a river and how it flows. It winds around things and it moves downstream, right? So there's less effort. So anytime you notice that you're putting effort or feeling tension or stress, you probably are going the wrong way. Okay, because going downstream is very easy. It means going with the flow. Anytime you start to feel any resistance in your body, I can guarantee that you've slipped into thinking too much about what he's saying or about what you're saying, and you went out of the now and went into thinking mode. When you go into thinking mode, you definitely are not in your feminine energy, because the feminine energy is sourcing from our heart center. That's where our feminine energy sources, from our intuition and our heart, and everything comes from that place. It doesn't come from thinking. It comes from our knowingness, our beingness, our presence. So if you can stay in your body and stay in that place, a man will just find you irresistible. And it's much more easy and it's much more energy efficient than thinking. And here's the problem with thinking. When you get into your thinking mind, you're just regurgitating experiences you've already thought. And there's no evolution in that, right? Because those are just experiences that your mind is pulling up to compare of what's going on in the moment. And once you start getting to comparison, you can easily slip into competition, which is definitely going to turn him off. And so a man who's in his 50s and 60s is looking for a woman who is not going to compete with him, who's comfortable in who she is and is comfortable relinquishing control and allowing him to lead. And frankly, I love it. My husband takes the lead and I just go with the flow. It doesn't really matter where we're going as long as we're together. That to me is the most important thing. And sure, if I want something really specific, then I can ask him that. But if it doesn't turn out, I'm okay with it because I'm just happy that we're together. And so it's not that I'm being passive and it's not that I'm being a doormat, but I've learned the value in life is to release attachment to the end result. That's another key to dating successfully in your 50s and 60s. Release attachment to the end result. So what that means is detach from how things you think should be. Stop shitting on yourself. You don't know what's going to happen. We don't get a crystal ball, okay? We only get this moment. So release your attachment of how it should be or how it's supposed to turn out. You go on a date, you don't know how it's going to turn out. That's the exciting part. That's the mystery of life and why life can be so interesting and why a man will find you irresistible and scoop you up when he sees you have that quality about going with the flow and detaching from outcomes. So you go to dinner, the food turns out terrible. You're like, oh, well, I'm just happy to be here. You know what that's going to mean to him? It's going to mean that you're not high maintenance, that you're easy to get along with, that you go with the flow, that you understand things happen in life and you're not in control of everything. You're not in control of the restaurant. You're not in control of the food and the food quality. And it's not his fault either. And you don't want to put that on him. And so these are the tips that are really going to serve you if you're dating over 50 and 60, because here's the thing. We've all experienced some upsets in our lives as humans, men and women. And we've experienced some painful experiences. I've been through a divorce, very painful. And so we can pick up a lot of baggage in that process, right? And what men and women, we're all looking for this second part of our life, the best part of our life, we hope, is that we've learned our lessons from those experiences, and we're not dragging those experiences into the present moment. So we processed and released those painful experiences so that we can be completely in the now and show up fun and playful and excited about what's going to happen next. I mean, I'm happy with just, walking down the street to get the dinner. Say we're getting tacos, we'll just walk down the street hand in hand. I'm just so happy with that, because what is more important to you? You want companionship. You don't want to be alone. You want someone to witness your life. These are all reasons why women really want to be in relationships. And I made a list before I started this call. I'm going to get my list out. What are some other reasons? Right here. Okay. They want to belong to someone. That's a big reason. I love being in a partnership. You want to belong to someone. You want someone to say, that's my woman. And that's going to just make you light up inside. And so making some shifts to your behavior is really going to help you. And so what is another tip that I can give you right now? I've got encouragement. That's another tip. Encouragement. Men do need a little more encouragement. Their testosterone levels are dropping, and we all need encouragement, but they've also been through challenges. They're also out there dating and experiencing rejection and letdown. And so we need to give men encouragement, appreciation, and acknowledgement. Maybe they didn't get any appreciation in their first marriage or from their first wife, or maybe ever. And a little encouragement goes a long way. So, and just encouraging and showing appreciation to a man on a date is going to go so far. You're going to your stock goes so far up, because a man values a woman who appreciates things in life, the small things in life. Notice the little things about him. Compliment on something he's wearing, or the way he handled the situation at the restaurant, or perhaps say something about how you admire him, about what he's done with his life, or what a good father he is, or a good grandfather. And those little things go a long way in life. We all love to be acknowledged and appreciated. And stay away from criticizing. That's another tip I'm going to give you, because sometimes when we get older, we get set in our ways and we don't realize it. But when we're saying something, maybe we're just trying to give constructive criticism, but it comes out sounding a lot like we're being bossy, or we're being critical. And men are sensitive to that. They certainly don't want to spend another 2 or 3 decades with a woman like their first wife, right? So if you feel like you're being that way, that's an area that you really need to work and grow, because maybe you're carrying some of your past hurt into this relationship, and you're going unconscious and not realizing that you're slipping into an old way of being, which is not serving you. Because wouldn't you rather be alone than be with someone that criticized you? So criticism comes from feeling like you're being criticized. So when we're critical to others, it's because we've experienced someone being critical to us. It's kind of a learned behavior. And so what you want to do is just unlearn that behavior. And that comes from being judgmental. So judging, so being in our head and judging things that he's saying, and having this idea of a perfect man. A perfect man doesn't exist. You create a relationship. You are the creator. You're the co-creator of your relationship. And that's so exciting, because if you really believe that, then you can create any relationship you want. And so I want you to just take the words that I'm sharing with you, these tips, to heart, because there are amazing men. And I think that men are even better when they get older. And so are women, because we have more wisdom. We have more life experience to share. We have more resources to share. Men have more resources to share with you. And what you have to share with them is this feminine energy. That is the number one thing that men are looking for. A woman that is fun. She has her fun, playful, her mojo back. And how you get your mojo back is to heal all of those painful experiences that you've had, so that you can clear out those emotional blocks. That's what painful experiences are. They're emotional blocks. It's like debris that creates a filter between you and the man that you see. Okay, there's like this filter. You have a warped view of him because you're looking at him through this lens of pain. Once you do the work around clearing out those emotional blocks, those painful experiences that you've experienced in your life, then you can show up completely whole and complete as you are on your own. You don't need anybody else to complete you. You're perfect just the way you are. You just have a little incorrect thinking. And so practice this on your dates, showing up, be impeccable in your clothing, make sure you have your dating outfits ready so that you're prepared to go on these dates feeling confident and beautiful. Be genuine, be authentic, and be yourself. You know, you've heard this before, all the other roles are taking. That connects so well. Don't be afraid to be you, and be very clear on what it is you want, so that you don't get sidetracked when you meet somebody that has some of the qualities you want, but he also has some deal breakers. And oh, I've got so many notes, and I love that you're all showing up here. Thank you for being here. Yes, and laughter attracts joy and releases negativity. A sense of humor. You have to get a sense of humor because, you know, as we age, we need to bring a lot of levity to this situation because we're dealing with gravity, right? That's another little tip, and I'm going to leave you with this. About gravity and about what happens to our bodies as we age. Ladies, I want you to just recognize that men are aging too. They have the same fears about their bodies because things are starting to droop. And I think you know what I mean. And it's drooping on us too. But guess what? You have to accept yourself because that's not going to change. In fact, what's not going to change is you're going to continue to age. And the more you accept yourself and embrace that and love yourself 100% unconditionally, you really do become completely irresistible to men because they are walking through the same struggles and challenges themselves. So recognize that and be real about it and accept yourself and love yourself. And if you do that, he will too. Okay, ladies, I hope this was helpful, and I want you to know that I have a freebie for you. Those of you watching this, you can go to my soulmateiq.com and download, not a download, it's just a free quick quiz. It's my soulmate assessment. You'll take a quick assessment and I'll send you your feminine exercise and your assessment so you can shift further into alignment and help you fast track your ability to manifest love. And this is for all ages. But I created this, I'm 54, so I'm coming from a place of, you know, coming into my wisdom years. I want to help you to come into your wisdom so that you can date successfully and lead to a committed relationship. Okay, ladies, thank you for being here on my live stream. And I'm going to start doing more of these, especially since I see you're showing up and contributing. That's right. And these little tips will get you on a second date. So watch this video again, go over what I wrote, write notes, and put into action what I've shared with you. Intellectual knowledge is great, but it's useless unless you take action. So download my Soulmate IQ, take the quiz, get your feminine exercise, and start getting into balance. And applying these tips right away and get out there, ladies. There's amazing men out there waiting to meet you at every age. Okay, go and claim your birthright. You are amazing. Don't forget that. I'm just sending you all so much love. Bye.